Company affiliate.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Warmer weather, sunny skies, summer is here. At the Walker, this means mini golf is open on the rooftop. Artist-led activations return to the hillside, and the cinema has a series of curated films. It's the perfect time to visit. Gallery admissions are free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org/summer.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
Phase 2 of the Track and Signals project for the full Metro Blue Line begins June 29th and requires replacement bus service until August 19th. The Metro Green Line will also need replacement bus service at select stations for several dates of the Blue Line maintenance period. Sign up for rider alerts and learn about replacement bus station locations and dates at metrotransit.org/track-signals. Again, that's metrotransit.org/track-signals.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 59, then Friday, sunshine with a high of 80. Farmer's Kitchen and Bar connects the local harvest directly to downtown Minneapolis. They prioritize sourcing as many ingredients as possible from local farmers. Check them out on South 2nd Street next to the Guthrie Theater, open Wednesday through Sunday. Visit farmerskitchenandbar.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be Indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hitting cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, before we get our guest on, Alex, we're going to get him on in just a minute. I just want to give our friends and our relatives a big shout out that are, at the celebration, and I do mean celebration at the Little Bighorn, the greasy grass battle in 1876, where we took down, as the white people like to say, Custer's last stand, but we know better than that. And the supposed Great Sioux War of 1876, we took down George Custer, and it's just an amazing celebration. So it's 150 years, and also just want to give our relatives that are out there celebrating a big shout out, and also just give our relatives that aren't out there a big shout out, our Dakota, Lakota friends and neighbors. So really a big shout out, and hopefully we'll hear something from Chase Iron Eyes. I see that he's posting a lot of things up on the website, on his website, and which is I'll have to let you know what it is again, but he's posting a lot of stuff up there, and I do believe it's called the Indigenous Law Project. But I'll get back to you on that. Why don't I want to bring our new friend Alex on, and we're going to talk about a movie that he's done. And Alex, I want to just give you a big shout out and a big who here on Native Roots Radio, and for coming on and talk to our listeners about what's happening and what film we're talking about and all these great things. And just food, just a little insight too. I used to teach film and video in high school, so it'll be a great conversation, and we'll grill you here. And I just want you to introduce yourself in a good way.
Well, I'm hoping to learn as much from you as I hope to teach. Buju, hello, listeners. My name is Alex Nystrom. I am enrolled at the Red Cliff Band of Lake Superior Chippewa Indians, and I am a writer, director, and producer in the film industry. And I'm here to talk about my short film, 4 Nights and a Fire.
Yeah, beautifully shot. I got to look at it, and I want to bring this up a couple times. Where can people see it? And I really want to promote that too.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So the best way to see it currently is we were fortunate enough to be acquired as a short film, which is incredibly rare, to be broadcasting nationally on PBS. And it's a part of a series called First People's First Stories. And so you can also just go online to PBS website and Google that, First People's First Stories, and we're in episode 1.
Amazing. And we've had a lot of filmmakers on over the past 10 years, and the name Vision Maker Media comes up a lot. And let's talk a little bit about them and what they do and how they support Native filmmakers.
Yeah, so Vision Maker Media has been incredibly supportive of this project. They came on right around right after we had finished shooting. We had to raise a little bit more money, and they have a program called the Creative Shorts Fellowship, which is still ongoing. And so any young filmmakers out there, please look into it, please apply. They give up to $25,000 to put towards your short film, and they give mentorship as well. And so I was very fortunate to be selected to receive some of those funds to help with post-production on this particular short film.
Yeah, there's more to it than just taking the lens cover off. You have to get the
Yeah.
right actors in there, and the editing, and I enjoyed the beginning graphics. I know me as a former filmmaker, the graphics had to be out to somebody else to do, and I was just more of the vision of the telling the story. But tell us a little bit about the story, and it's kind of interesting too. I saw a couple actors that I knew too, and one of them is now local and has done some new Native theater stuff in the last year or so.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, so 4 Nights and a Fire is it's a family ghost story. It's a father-son ghost story. It follows a young Ojibwe photographer whose father has passed on, and it's in that small window on the journey to the afterlife, hence the title 4 Nights and a Fire. And the son is guiding the spirit of his father to the afterlife. And it's really about their relationship, this father and son, and sort of mourning each other's loss, and also finding resilience from the perspective of both the living and the dead. And so we sort of get to know both the son character who's lost his father and this father who's sort of wants to still connect with his son before he transitions on.
Yeah, and that is a cool Native story, and I think we talk about that and believe in that. And it's funny, I was just thinking about Reservation Dogs when one of the characters' grandma passed away, and she came back at the end and said, don't sell my silverware, or I'll haunt you." And but we have those stories. We have stories like that handed down. So that's just an awesome thing. What else would you like people to know about this movie? Because I think there's so much going on in it. And did you shoot it, I guess, in 2023?
Yeah, we actually shot in 2022, so it's been quite some time since we've made the film. And I personally wanted to shoot it uh, on Red Cliff, on the reservation in northern Wisconsin, but we had another grant that had we had timing limitations, and so it was probably, we're all familiar with the weather in the winter. It was probably like -20 and a foot of snow, and so we thought best to migrate south, if you will. And we ended up shooting in Oklahoma, and so we worked with a native-led production company down in Tulsa, and we shot down there. And funny enough, there was a winter storm right before we were going to shoot down there as well. So, weather can be incredibly unpredictable. And in the film, it's all set outdoors, and it is still set to be Minnesota, Wisconsin. So, it's all takes place in the woods and on a lake shore. And so it ended up being 3 very cold nights. It was about in the teens, and it was warming up each day, but it was still quite cold at night. So we had to keep each other warm and find the bravery to get through it ourselves as well.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're here with Alex Nystrom, and we're talking about the film 4 Nights in a Fire, and we can watch it on PBS, and we'll come back and talk more. This is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Phase 2 of the Track and Signals project for the full Metro Blue Line begins June 29th and requires replacement bus service until August 19th. The Metro Green Line will also need replacement bus service at select stations for several dates of the Blue Line maintenance period. Sign up for rider alerts and learn about replacement bus station locations and dates at metrotransit.org/track-signals. Again, that's metrotransit.org/track-signals.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
Maintaining our health, particularly our heart health, is very important to us as a family.
Your heart gives you time with family, time with community, time to pass down what matters. Protecting your heart helps keep those moments alive. A visit with a healthcare provider can be one step toward a healthier future. Learn more at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats. Your heart health is essential because your heart beats for generations. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Warmer weather, sunny skies, summer is here. At the Walker, this means mini golf is open on the rooftop. artist-led activations return to the hillside, and the cinema has a series of curated films. It's the perfect time to visit. Gallery admissions are free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org/summer.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and we are with our friend Alex Nystrom, and we're talking about the film Four Nights in a Fire, and really excited. So, just one question I have for you too: how is this in your blood? Are we working on other projects, and can you talk a little bit about those, or did it was just like, oh my God, this is so much work?
Is filmmaking in my blood?
Yes.
I think so. I hope so. I always say that music was my first love, and then film sort of found me. And I still to this day love the sound design and music in particular that as part of the filmmaking process. And I'm very keen about that stuff. And on Four Nights in a Fire, there's actually a storm sequence, and I worked very closely with a sound designer who, for all intents and purposes, kind of went storm chasing for me to capture the right sounds and to make it as immersive and atmospheric as possible. But yeah, I love filmmaking. It's my life now, and definitely working on several other projects as well.
That's good to hear. I love how you talk about or you were just talking about music and film, and how building a score and also building a story are so similar. And sometimes
Mhm.
you have the hook and the middle of the story, and other times you have the beginning. And how did that come about for you? Did you have a picture of how the story ends, or how it starts, or how it's in the middle? I'm real curious about that.
That's a great question, and I love that analogy. I'm gonna keep that with me. That's really interesting. With this film, uh, I'm by no means a poet, but I sort of ignored all the formatting of a screenplay, and this film is personal in a sense. I lost my father about a decade ago, and so a lot of this film is navigating those emotions and that separation. But it really sort of came out as a raw emotional poem. And when you see the film, the voiceover that it guides the film from both perspectives, that is effectively the poem that I wrote. Of course, I made some tweaks along the way. And when it came out as well, I realized there was a sort of call and response. I started writing, more or less from my perspective or the son's perspective, and then I started to crave a response. And I wanted those two characters to be close, both geographically and in what they're sort of going through, even if they're sort of on different planes in the film. And yeah, so ultimately that's how the voiceover it starts to coalesce, and they sometimes will be saying the same thing at the same time at a couple points in the film to sort of represent that closeness.
It's amazing too. One of the things when you write dialogue, are you listening to people talk, or are you listening to certain people talk in your head? I mean, some people go out to a park and listen to people, and other people do have the dialogue in their head. How do you work, or is it a combination of a lot of things?
With dialogue, I tend to, yeah, play it in my head, and I like to listen to the characters. Uh, I should go to the park more, definitely, regardless
Y'all
of
should, right?
whether or not I'm listening to other people. Uh, yeah, I definitely like to sort of listen to it, and I also when I'm writing too, an exercise that I do just to sort of get a little bit of distance from my own inner monologue is there's like a table read application that I can use on my phone. So I'll upload my script and then I'll assign character roles and I'll like get to hear it from, sort of a different, somewhat of a performative perspective. And then I can be like, oh, that doesn't sound good at all, or that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. And do you let actors help out with that, or some people like Francis Ford Coppola is like, it's raining, so this scene is with rain, and other people are so strict to their script, or you a combination again of both, because I think both work.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think with this film, it was very like word for word because it was sort of written as such, and we actually recorded all of the voiceover after we shot it, and so we already had the whole film shot and in our bones, and we sort of had felt all the emotions, and so I think for the actors, it was easier to step into speaking it after acting it out. And also prior to the shoot, we would spend a couple hours every week for at least a month leading up. We would meet and we would just less perform it, but just talk about the meaning and perceived meaning and let them bring in their own stories. And actually, the father son actors in Four Nights in the Fire, they are father and son in real life, and so they were able to bring their own experiences and own sort of dynamic that I think really shows in the performance in the film. And they both they were able to really access some raw emotions, which I'm incredibly proud of their performances, and I know they are too.
Yeah, and it's cheaper than therapy too, I hear. So, unless you're in a good insurance. So, Alex, talk a little bit about the Sundance Institute Native Lab Fellow. Were you able to meet Bob Redford?
Unfortunately, I think Bob had passed by then. He just passed away recently.
Yeah.
But so I didn't meet Bob. But I was very fortunate to be a part of the Native Lab Fellowship in last year, and it's a year-long program. And it sort of kicks off with 1 week in Santa Fe with the Sundance Indigenous team, and then there's only a handful of us who are fellows, and then they match each of us with mentors. So it's a lot of one-on-one mentorship as well. And that week is like pens down, typewriters down, laptops down. Like we're here to just be together and talk and feel, and then we do read through the scripts together and just have a lot of conversations and share stories and approaches. And then for the rest of the year, it's like a monthly scheduled check-in with the Indigenous team, and really sort of like making sure that we're moving forward with their projects, and they're acting as sort of as liaisons to help facilitate meetings with folks in the industry. And then I was fortunate enough to go to Sundance this past January, the final year in Utah, in Park City, which was really fun. And I had a handful of meetings there as well. And so it was really fun to be there and be present with fellow Native fellows, and just take it all in. And I did that with my feature film, which is sort of loosely an expansion on Four Nights in a Fire.
Yeah, that's really interesting that you say that. Shoot, that time's ticking. I want to ask you real quick, what is your favorite top 2 movies?
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. I want to hear yours as well if we have time. My
It's the
top
norm.
2 movies. Man.
It's the boring ones for me, like The Godfather and Citizen Kane.
Oh,
You
I
know.
love it. I love it. Citizen
Yeah.
Kane is so good. I'll say this, probably the movie that really got me interested in like the puzzle of filmmaking and really piqued my interest in like, how did they do this? Why did they do this? And it really excited me, was this film. It was, I think, Christopher Nolan's second film called Memento.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
do you remember that movie?
Oh, yeah. I showed it in film class.
Oh yeah, and it's and it's not to spoil it, but it's out of order. The film is
Yes.
chronologically out of order, and
Circular script.
yeah, and it really piqued my interest as to like, oh, filmmaking really is this puzzle, and you can really arrange it however you want. But of course, there's structure and rules and stuff that you can follow and break. Um, and then a movie that I've really enjoyed as I've gotten older is this movie called Under the Skin. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
No, I haven't. I'm writing it
So
down.
it's directed by this British filmmaker named Jonathan Glazer, and Scarlett Johansson basically plays this alien that crash lands in, I think, Scotland, and it's about being an outsider and trying to see the humanity in yourself if you don't have that inherently. And so it's a very strange, surreal, sort of sci-fi thriller, a little bit horrific. It's very beautifully shot, very strange. So yeah, check it out.
One more time, Four Nights in Fire, where can it be seen? And we're talking to Alex Nystrom. Where can people see it?
They can see it on PBS as a part of First People's First Stories.
Thank you so much for coming on. We got to do this again and do it longer because we were just getting into it. I wanted to talk about Usual Suspects and Kaiser Soze and all those fun people.
We'll dig into the film catalog next time. Yes.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for coming on. And Misko will reach out to you again, or reach out to her. This was a lot of fun. Let's do it again.
Amazing.
Hey, this is Native Roots. Right on. This is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be back right after this short break with Robert Lilligren. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Warmer weather, sunny skies, summer is here. At the Walker, this means mini golf is open on the rooftop. Artist-led activations return to the hillside, and the cinema has a series of curated films. It's the perfect time to visit. Gallery admissions are free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org/summer.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
Heart health is more than just the physical well-being. It represents like a foundation of vitality, resilience, and the ability to live fully.
Your heart carries stories of resilience, love, and survival. Caring for your heart means honoring yourself and the generations before and after you. It means protecting your ability to gather, laugh, and be present. Learn more about your heart health at hennepincounty.gov/heart-beats, because your story matters and your heart beats for generations.
Phase 2 of the Track and Signals project for the full Metro Blue Line begins June 29th and requires replacement bus service until August 19th. The Metro Green Line will also need replacement bus service at select stations for several dates of the Blue Line maintenance period. Sign up for rider alerts and learn about replacement bus station locations and dates at metrotransit.org/track-signals. Again, that's metrotransit.org/track-signals.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Visit during free Thursday nights. Every week from 5 to 9 p.m., there's something new to explore. Enjoy date-friendly events like artist talks, performances, and exhibition openings, or explore art-making open library hours and exhibition tours. Settle into your weekend among community. Free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 59, then Friday, sunshine with a high of 80. Farmer's Kitchen and Bar connects the local harvest directly to downtown Minneapolis. They prioritize sourcing as many ingredients as possible from local farmers. Check them out on South 2nd Street next to the Guthrie Theater, open Wednesday through Sunday. Visit farmerskitchenandbar.com. ATNF AM 950, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and we are with our friend Robert Lilligren. Robert, thank you so much for really doing the King's version here of getting home in time to.
It was a Herculean effort.
There it is. There it is. Hey, love that shirt, by the way. Thanks. I just want to remind everyone, too, that we're going to be at Pride with Robert Lilligren. And it's booth 104, 105 at 1 p.m. at Pride, this Twin City Pride. And really excited to see you and do this live. And we're also going to have Mr. Walking Bull with us, too.
Yeah, it should be really good. We had such a good time last year. I hear it's going to be pretty hot. They're 85 or hotter, but it should be fun. And do you know where the booth is?
104 and 105. And I'm reading this here. If you're coming down new location, it is in the blue section, booth 104 or 105, conveniently located near the food court and West 15th Street. Be sure to stop by the tent and grab some swag and listen to some great gabbing. And I have a feeling I'll be able to just hand the show over to you two, and we can talk about.
It'll be a great conversation. Sounds like we'll have a lot of audience there. If it's near the food court, that'll be nice. And this is on Sunday, right?
No, Saturday.
Oh, it's on Saturday. Oh, okay.
We better text later here.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was on Sunday. So.
Oh no, the parade's Sunday. So.
Right, I thought it was after the parade. Anyway.
Oh.
We'll get there. We'll figure it out.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. My bad. Sorry about that.
Hey,
I just want to talk 1 second too about. The Circle magazine's going to be coming out, and I just wanted to give you a big shout out about your support and the community's support. It's just been a amazing journey.
Here's mine.
Yes. You have to get Natalie to autograph it for you because
you should autograph it, chief editor.
Yes, I need my headdress. So
for folks who don't know, the Circle magazine, the Circle newspaper for decades, and it's really a cornerstone of Native media here in the Twin Cities. And it was more like a weekly, newspaper. And now with your leadership, it's been made more of a glossy quarterly publication, and then, as I understand it, with some online journalism as well.
Yes, definitely, and that'll be ramping up daily updates on national news and, of course, Twin City news when things are happening, because there is always something going on, and people need to know where. I'm always looking all over the place to find out what's happening, and hopefully what the Circle website will really cover a lot of that local and national daily news.
Yeah, and I love the caliber of writers you got for this first issue. I'm super impressed, Robert.
Thank you. And do we want to go over those? I could.
Well, I could. Let's see.
Here we go.
I did notice I'm not amongst them.
What? You'll be
horrible oversight.
Yes, my oversight. I just know that you're so busy. I just wanted to. I should have had you do right. Well, we're gonna have you do articles on the website, and also the next one that's coming up. And I got a feeling too, with the support that we've had, that we may be going back to monthly within 6 months.
Oh wow, impressive!
And really exciting. So again, the community and community leaders like yourself, really been supporting this magazine newspaper for so many years, and now remained. And the team that I put together have been just fantastic. And now we're coming around a new board. We can talk about that some other time. And it's just a exciting time to be around and watch this grow with the help of the community.
I love it. Yep, we have a lot going on here.
Oh my
God. See, I'm impressed that you're already considering going to publishing monthly again.
Yeah, it's just we'll get there. It's just again, the community is really falling behind it, so it'll be a lot more work, but there'll be more people involved like yourself writing. And I think one of the things too, we'll have more pictures, more young people's speaking on what's going on. But I just asked these people to write an article. It's the 10th anniversary of Standing Rock, and today's the 150th anniversary of Greasy Grass. Write about resistance and how long Native American, and in your life and your experience, what does resistance look like? And
I love it.
You'll have a lot to say, and we'll have different themes each month, and maybe you and I can talk about that not each month, but each magazine.
I'd love it. Yep, it's resistance, right? I was a keynote speaker at Minneapolis City Hall Pride event last week, sort of a kickoff and things, and I, without really coordinating or collaborating with the other few speakers, the through line was pride is protest, right?
Oh, I love that line.
I know. And I started my remarks with, I first participated in my first pride when I was 19 years old, way back in 1980, right? And you can see City Hall Rotunda was full of a lot of young people, which was beautiful and energetic, and their eyes just got really big. And I said, I'm sure that's before most of y'all were born. It's probably before your parents were born. And it was, so different. Now it's 1 million people in 2 huge parks kind of event. But back in 1980, when I was a 19-year-old kid, it was about 2,000 people total, kind of clustered around one stage after we kind of marched the road. It was much more of a protest march. So I kind of liked returning to this theme, that pride is protest.
That is beautiful. Geez, I want to ask you how, I don't think in 1980, because I graduated high school in 1970, that I knew anybody.
You didn't graduate in 1970. You graduated in 1979 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, 1979. Thank you. I got to start listening to what I say. But I don't remember anybody that was officially out. Those times were so different.
Yeah.
Survived that, and how did you maneuver in that
Well, it was
time of living.
Right. It was kind of self-preservation, right? I grew up in a part of the metro area that wasn't the most open and accepting part, especially people of different races, people of different sexualities. People are just different, right? And I was a student in the Anoka Hennepin School District 11, which has a long history of bigotry, racism, homophobia. So for me, it was, I got to get out of here, right? I got to go. And I'm not safe in this community. Right. And as I was growing up, and especially through high school, maybe even junior high school, but I'd find my way to these things, you know. I remember one of them was Channel 2, Second City Television, for example, or sometimes it would be a musical artist or something. And I'd be like, okay, Laurie Anderson, that was another one. And I'd be like, okay, there's cool people out there. I just got to go find them, you know. I got to get through this.
Yeah.
And so then I just came down here and just ran, right? And, you know, found people that I wanted to be around, found people that could accept me for who I am. And I was much wilder back then, Robert. You wouldn't even have recognized me. And I was 100 pounds lighter, so there was that. And yeah, so for me it was sort of a self-preservation. And yeah, and I remember that year a lot of my little buddies, mostly like barfly buddies, and they were all going down to what was then called Lake Calhoun, now it's Pidayam-Kachka, and they were just going to sunbathe, you know. And I go, well, come down and march, come down and rally, you know, this is important. And they're like, oh no, we don't want to do that. And I said, okay, well, when they start pushing us into ovens, maybe you'll change your mind, right? So I just let them lounging in the sun while my bestie and I went down and expressed our pride through protest.
Wow, that's a great story, and I didn't know that, because, you know, everyone has a journey, you know, how you got here to where you are and when things started, because we were both child of the 60s and, you know, teens in the 70s, and, you know, that was not a cool thing. We had people like Anita Bryant and all these weird things, and it always seems to me that the people that complain the most are really, I don't know if I should say this, but are almost closeted, that they're not into their own self, so they have to be really angry and mean to other people. And
well, and there is data and research that supports that, Robert, so I don't think you're that far off. And then I'm always looking for sort of depictions of LGBTQ people in TV and movies and on stage, and they were always jokes, right? They were the butt of jokes for the most part, and so that just made it feel worse. You know, I guess I'm a joke.
Well, that's true, and the reason why I bring that up, because, as you know, I really love baseball, and it's really getting hard to do that, especially when a lot of them are homophobic and racist, that are making all this money. And the San Francisco Giants whole episode with Pride Night there, still regurgitating. We have a president of the team that won't even discuss it. And so when people don't discuss things, you know, either one, they're hiding in it, or they don't agree with their community.
There's something bad about it, right? Yeah,
exactly. Hey, we're here with Robert Lilligren, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute, and we'll be right back after this short break. And yes, I was graduated in 1979. So
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Culture prevents so many negative things from happening to us as individuals and as communities.
Strong roots begin with a healthy heart. For Indigenous women, heart health is part of caring for community, culture, and future generations. Even small steps can help protect what matters most. Discover ways to support your heart at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats, because your heart beats for generations.
Programming is supported in part by Health Partners. If you're age 65 plus and qualify for medical assistance, you may also qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. This all-in-one plan bundles Medicare, medical assistance, prescription drug coverage, and dental coverage into one simple $0 premium plan that also includes $0 medical copays. In addition to saving money, you can get lots of extra benefits and perks, like a dedicated care coordinator, up to $400 each year in rewards for preventative screenings, transportation, a fitness club membership, and more. This can help you live safely and healthy and independently. If you're a senior on a budget, transportation assistance can be huge. Plus, who couldn't use an extra $400 these days? Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
In this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
I always laugh at that. Hey, we're back with Robert Lilligren, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis. And I just want to remind everybody that Robert's going to be there with Alfred Walking Bull, my guest, and we're going to be at AM 950's booth in the Blue area. I'm looking at right now at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Come out and see us. And then after you're done with that, head on over to the Orange area at 392, and Native Roots Trading Post will be there. And
cool.
Stop by and get a new Resist shirt. We got a different style, not shiny this time, but more of a rainbowy. And
yeah, I almost wore my Resist shirt today, but you can't quite see the logo in this angle. So,
well, we got to update you on a new one, and I'll gift you another one over the years here. So that'll be part of your pay. Every 10 years, we get a t-shirt.
That often? You're always talking about giving me t-shirts, and then you never do.
I will this time. They'll be right there. So again, really appreciate you jumping on. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you were doing today? Because I think it's really important, and it's crazy that in a good way that people reach out to you and want to know what's going on in the Native corridor and what's going on here in Minneapolis.
Yeah, cool. Well, part of it, and I saw you at the Four Sisters Farmers Market, and that was great. But we had a visiting delegation from Sacramento called the Sacramento Council of Governments. It's their regional government, and some folks might know I'm part of the Twin Cities regional government. I'm a representative appointed by the governor. We have a different sort of system. Most local governments are not sort of apples to apples. So these people, a council of governments means it's made up of elected officials within the regional geography. So these were mayors, city council members, county commissioners, and they came out to do kind of an exchange and see how we do things here regionally. They had a few things they wanted to be sure and see. One of them was bike infrastructure. They have a goal to add 1,000 miles of bike trails and connect their whole region. So they spent time on the Midtown Greenway, which is a lovely bike walk amenity that goes all the way through South Minneapolis from the river to the lakes, city limits to city limits. And then they're very interested in what the Native community is doing here. And so they came out to the American Indian Cultural Corridor. We had hoped they'd be able to participate in Four Sisters Farmers Market, but they were a little late. And so that was over. But we went to the Indian Center and just had an informal conversation. But these guys were floored with what's going on. And they're there were actually 2 tribal members who were part of tribal government within their region. And I'm bad, I should remember the name of the tribe, but they are the first tribe to own a professional soccer team.
Whoa.
So yeah, it's kind of cool. And then they're building other.
Look that up real quick.
Yeah. So I got to meet with them, and they were just amazed. And we've worked so intentionally in this region to for Native leadership, Native organizational leadership, to find collaborative ways of working, right? And we're not sovereign nations, we're nonprofit organizations for the most part, and but we're sovereign people that walk in our sovereignty every day. We just don't happen to be on our sovereign land. And so, we figured that out. And one of the conversations this afternoon paralleled one I had earlier today about sort of getting a little more academic about what urban and tribal relations could do, what they could yield, how they could best serve our relatives, especially our unsheltered relatives. So it was kind of an interesting through line from a couple of conversations I had today.
That must feel good, and I know it feels good for me. Whatever is going on in the Twin Cities, native-wise, whether it's a powwow or like the Four Sisters Market and things that are happening on Franklin, when other people see it, because I've been around and you've been around too, and we are blessed with a lot of good things here, native-wise.
We are, and of course, the American Indian Movement was founded right here, and 2 of the early objectives of AIM were to base progress on re-embracing culture, language, Native family spirituality, and then also establishing anchor institutions to help the community move forward. And so what you're talking about, or what we experience, is the legacy of those founders, those elders, now ancestors, who did that. And so for me, and where I'm in the generational trajectory, it's like, okay, how do we not squander this legacy, that was left to us, and how do we create something that can move the community as a whole along, but also prepares next generation leadership to step in.
Yeah, definitely. And we talk about that a lot, and I really believe that they planted the seeds, and you're a good gardener and water, and for the next generation. And really, things have really to give you and a lot of groups on Franklin Avenue and all the state of Minnesota some flowers. Again, I've been around the country, and we're blessed here in Minneapolis and Minnesota.
We are, and like you said, it's cool when other people notice it as well, and because I don't think we take it for granted, but when you're in the environment all the time, maybe you don't see it as clearly. And we were in the beautiful new Minneapolis American Indian Center, and the director there, Mary Lagarde, my whiter sister, talked to the group about the center and the progress there. And it just, I feel like we're pretty proud of what we can do here. And so just kind of keep pushing, right? And, it's not all roses. I'm using your flower allegory. It's not all roses, but, one of the issues we have in the community, persistent issues, are unsheltered homelessness and chemical use, right? And so it's a big intersection there in a lot of ways. So we do a lot of work there to inhibit unsheltered relatives from camping on public property. Everything in our neighborhood is fenced off, right? We have these big ugly fences. You feel like you work in a prison camp, and or live in a prison camp. You can't even walk through the community. You have elders out in the street in their wheelchairs, mothers pushing strollers because the sidewalks are blocked, which I can't imagine how that's even legal with the American Disabilities Act. But so I'm in quite a few conversations, a couple of them today, about how we get rid of those damn fences.
Yeah, good on you. And it is, it does give you that icky feeling when you see all that, and then also, we have our relatives on the street. One of the things I wanted to mention too, and there's a big building being built.
Oh yeah,
almost done right down the street, the Native American Community Clinic. Oh my God.
Yeah. That is a transformational development, right? It's a 6-story building. It's got 2 floors, ground floors of services, and then 4 of housing, affordable housing. It's really stunning, and it's probably one of 6 new buildings that have either gone up or going up right there in the American Indian Cultural Corridor. And so it takes a while for concepts like the American Indian Cultural Corridor and for the community growing up capacity to really be steering that the way we are. It's a vision that the community supported through the work at NACDI, almost 20 years ago now. And so now we're really seeing it hit its stride. It's something to behold.
Well, Robert, thanks again. And I know it was a good struggle to get here at 5:30. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm really looking forward to Saturday at 1 p.m. at Native Roots or AM 950's booth.
Great. See you then.
Great. That's 104 and 105. And then remember, 392, come see Native Roots Trading Post. Hey, if you're listening to the show, you are part of the resistance. We're still here. We are the 7th generation. We'll see you tomorrow.
Phase 2 of the Track and Signals project